What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tino here, and we're here today for another TTW episode. It's episode number 13. And yes, guys, I know there's Wrestle Dream on tonight, AEW Wrestle Dream. I myself just kind of got and has been going through a little stuff, so we're just gonna skip Wrestle Dream, but that's okay because you can still watch it tonight on pay-per-view. If you have, make sure you go watch it. But I thought, since we're going to be here anyway to talk TTW and all the news, notes, and rumors, let me give you my predictions on what will go down at Wrestle Dream. We'll talk about the card and all of that good stuff. But as I said, we will not be live here tonight, so I hope you go check out all the other great YouTubers. As I said, I just kind of didn't realize that Wrestle Dream was this weekend. I thought it was at the end of October, and by the time I realized it, it was just not good timing. But that's okay, though. One pay-per-view won't kill us. But let's get to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. And let's just see what's up. What's up? What's up, Hassan? Today is Hassan's mom's birthday. Happy birthday to Hassan's mom. Then Denise is doing a watch-along on AEW. So, guys, go check out Wrestle Days. But also, if you have not yet, and I don't even think she knows I exist. Again, a lot of people probably don't even know that I exist, but that's okay. Go check out Denise. Great content creator. Has some great interviews. Does some great stuff. Killing it on the YouTube channel. So go follow Denise, and you go watch Wrestle Dream with her tonight. What's up, J-Dog? Brian Robinson Jr. is out tomorrow. Thank you, J-Dog, for that. I have Brian Robinson in a fantasy football league, so thank you for that. J-Dog also says F Wrestle Dream. Well, J-Dog, I understand Wrestle Dream might not be your thing, but it is other people's dreams. So let's start off with Wrestle Dream. The pay-per-view is on in about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. The pre-show will start, I think, at 5, and then we'll have, obviously, the main card at 7. And let's go over these matches, because you guys know how much AEW loves to have a million matches, and it's about the same thing with Wrestle Dream. And we're going to go through them, and I'm actually going to put them up. I'm going to make sure I have them up here too. Give me 4 seconds. Okay, maybe 10 seconds. And let's go through it. Okay, so yes, they do have three matches on the pre-card, or the pre-show. The pre-card. The pre-show. Let's go through all of these, and then I'm going to tell you my winners on who I think. There are a total of 12 matches as usual. So the first one that we have Atlantis Jr. taking on Brian Cage for the Ring of Honor World Television Championship. I'm going to take Brian Cage to win that match. I don't really know too much about Atlantis Jr. I'll be honest. He is a Mexican luchador, and I just personally don't know too much about him, but I'll take Brian Cage to win that match. Now we got a tag team match. It's the MNX. It's Mace and Mansoor, as they are with to be announced, as they take on the Acclaim, Max Caster, Anthony Bowen with Billy Gunn. We're going to have to see who is by Mason Mansoor's side, and we're going to see if they can beat the Acclaim. And then also on the pre-show, we have Anna Jay taking on Harley Cameron with Saraya. For the tag team match, I'm going to take the Acclaim to win to beat Mason Mansoor. And then Anna Jay against Harley Cameron with Saraya. I want Anna Jay to win, but I feel like Harley Cameron might pull it out. But I'm going to stick with Anna Jay, and I'm going to say she wins. And she wins the match against Harley. Now, those are the 3 matches that went down and that will be going down on the pre-show. I don't know if they're up there. I don't think that they are up there. No, they are not. Now, let's go through the 9 matches that we will see go down on and in the main card live on pay-per-view. We got Darby Allin taking on Brody King. Swerve Strickland returns. Hangman Adam Page taking on Jay White. We got the Beast Mortis and the Hologram as they go out in a 2 out of 3 falls match. We got Private Party taking on the Young Bucks for the AEW tag team titles. Jack Perry taking on Shibata for the TNT Championship. We got Mark Briscoe taking on Y2J, the Lionheart, the Learning Tree, who whatever he's calling himself right now, Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho. And then we got Mariah May taking on Willow Nightingale for the women's title. We got an international triple threat match as it's Kono to take a shitter and Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Triple threat international championship match. And then in the main event, it's Jon Moxley. It's Bryan Danielson. It's for the AEW World Championship. Now, let me give you my predictions for all of these matches that will be going down. First one we're going to talk about, and the first one I'm going to give you my prediction for is the one that has to do with Darby Allin and Brody King. Darby Allin and Brody King, you know, they've been doing their you know, man, I will say this about Brody King. I like him. I just always feel like he's the guy that's always left out, and everybody forgets about him in the House of Black. But I'm kind of happy he's getting the singles match against Darby Allin. These guys are going to go out there and put on a really good match. But in the end, I'm going to say Darby Allin wins this match. And I'm going to say Darby Allin gets the win against Brody King. Now we got Jack Perry taking on Shibata. And it's for the TNT Championship. Now this one, I feel like we're going to see maybe some shenanigans. Because I feel like Jack Perry matches can't end without shenanigans now. And I would not be shocked or surprised at all if that does happen. So I think Shibata's going to put up a good fight, but I think Jack Perry is going to find a way to win the match. And Jack Perry will walk out as your winner and still TNT champion. Now let's talk about this triple threat. We got Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Kono for a triple threat international championship match. And these three guys, this match very well might be the one that steals the show. And this might be the one that everybody's talking about, or at least one of the matches everybody should be talking about after it's all said and done. So, after these three guys tear the house down, I'm going to say Will Ospreay keeps the championship, and I think they continue Will Ospreay and Ricochet for a little bit longer. It's going to be a great match, but Will Ospreay going to walk out, still your international champion. Now we got a tag team championship matches. It's the Young Bucks, Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, as they take on Private Party and Zay and Quinn, or Zay and Q. And Private Party I feel like Private Party is the AEW's version of the Street Profits. They've never been able to have the opportunity to be a champion, and I would love every moment and every second of it if Private Party did win. And they did win the match, and they took out Nicholas and Matt Jackson. Now, do I believe it's going to happen? Probably not. But I just wanted to have some wishful thinking for a second. But Young Bucks probably going to win and stay your tag team champions. After I just hyped up the private Party a little bit, saying that I think they should and they deserve it. But let's be real here. They ain't taking the titles off of the Young Bucks yet. Now, a championship that might change hands, but I'm still not too sure about, as it's Mariah May and Willow Nightingale for the AEW Women's World Championship. As you guys know, we've seen a lot of Mariah May turning on Toni Storm. We saw Willow fight with Mercedes, now formerly known as Sasha. Willow Nightingale, Mariah May is going to be a very good match. And honestly, I would not be shocked if they put the title on Willow Nightingale, because I do believe that we could see some championships change hands. And so far, I haven't had any champions change hands. So this is going to be the first one where I love Mariah May, but maybe they put the title on Willow Nightingale tonight. Maybe. Just maybe. Keep an eye out for it. And hey, if you hear it, you heard it here first. We have Hangman Adam Page taking on Jay White in a match that I'm just excited to watch. A match that probably a lot of people think may consider a dream match of theirs that they want to see one day. Well, now we're going to see it, and they're going to tear the house down. I'm going to take Jay White to win because I think that Jay White needs to get some wins. He needs to find a way to get himself a little momentum, and he needs to find himself to get his way back to being the guy that we all know, the Switchblade, and not the guy with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Let's get Jay White that dub. Now we got a hologram taking on the Beast Mortis, as it's a 2 out of 3 falls match. As these two guys, I don't know what I'm excited for, the 2 out of 3 falls or their mask that they're going to come out in and their attire, because they're going to be sick, and it's going to be so awesome to see. I can't wait to see what happens. 2 out of 3 falls matches are always my favorite. I have a feeling what will happen as usual, what usually happens, one guy will get a pin, the other guy will get a pin, and then we'll have a third fall. I'm going to say it goes to a third fall, and I'm going to say Hologram wins this match. Hologram gets the dub, and he walks out your winner of the 2 out of 3 falls match. Now we have Chris Jericho. I did not do Chris Jericho. Did I do Chris Jericho and Mark Briscoe? I skipped it. Mark Briscoe and Chris Jericho with Big Bill and Brian Keith for the AEW World Championship. And this is another one. I have a feeling we're going to see Chris Jericho win, because Chris Jericho always needs to have a championship for some reason. Chris Jericho has not had a championship since he had the FTW championship just recently. It could happen, and I'm going to say it does happen. I'm going to say Chris Jericho wins with the help of Big Bill and Brian Keith, and he walks out your Ring of Honor World Champion. Now let's talk about, before we get to the main event of the evening, as we've talked about 11 matches, now let's talk about Swerve Strickland's return, and could we see any other debuts or returns? I don't know about returns, to be honest. I really can't think of anybody that has been out, but surprises, maybe this is where we see Bobby Lashley, right? We haven't seen Bobby yet, right? Did Bobby show up yet? I don't think so. Did somebody in the chat let me know? I don't think Bobby showed up. I don't think he did. I think we could see a couple other people that, maybe people aren't thinking about. Now, I'm not going to say anybody for sure because I don't want to put it out there. Sometimes I do, but with these, sometimes I just don't know. And it should be really interesting to see what happens and if anybody does show up. But Swerve Strickland going to come out. He's probably going to talk about his title, talk about what he wants, who he's coming after next. And who knows? Maybe this is where we see a debut or a return where Swerve Strickland comes out and then we see them fight each other until they battle into the back. We're just going to have to wait and see what Swerve Strickland has to say for the AEW crowd and everybody at WrestleDream. Now, you guys know what time it is. I want to hear you say it. It's not the main event of the episode, but it is the main event of this part of the episode, as it is Bryan Danielson taking on Jon Moxley with Marina Shafira for the AEW World Championship. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, a feud that has just completely turned into two guys that just don't like each other and want nothing to do with each other in any sort of way. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be a battle, and it's going to be an all-out war. We're probably going to see Jon Moxley bleed, probably see Bryan Danielson bleed, especially because Drew McIntyre and CM Punk just bled at Hell in the Cell. They're going to want to have Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley bleed also. Now, who's going to win this match? I think Bryan Danielson's going to win this match. I think you have Bryan Danielson hold the title for a little bit of time, and you have him beat some opponents, and don't just give the title back to Jon Moxley, because then at this point, we're just playing hot potato with the title, and it makes no sense. Which means those are my predictions for WrestleDream. If you are just joining us, let me give you my quick predictions real quick. We're going to take Brian Cage to defeat Atlantis. We're going to take the Acclaim to defeat the M&X Collection. We're going to take Anna Jay to defeat Harley Cameron. Chris Jericho to defeat Mark Briscoe. Darby Allin to defeat Brody King. Jack Perry to defeat Shibata. Will Ospreay to retain his title. The Young Bucks over Private Party. Willow Nightingale over Mariah May. Jay White over Hangman Adam Page. Hologram in the 2 out of 3 falls. And then Bryan Danielson to defeat Jon Moxley. And those are my predictions for WrestleDream. Now let's get into some of the other news, notes, rumors, and everything else going on in the wrestling world. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to chat about anything, just, hit that comment button, leave a super chat, all that good stuff. Make sure if you have not yet, guys, please hit that like button on this episode. Let's try to get to 15 likes on this episode. We are also 11 subscribers away to 2,400. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button. And now let's get to some news. As guys, you remember Hornswoggle. And if you don't remember Hornswoggle, then you're too young and we can't be friends no more. Because Hornswoggle has officially just signed a WWE Legends deal, which means that he can now be put back in the video game. We could get action figures. He could show up at shows. And Hornswoggle could be returning to the WWE sooner rather than later. And you love to see it. Who doesn't want to hang out with Hornswoggle? But the one thing I'm kind of mad about is that my some of my figures are going to go down in price. Oh well, that's just what happens. Now, let's talk about what happened last night on Friday Night SmackDown. We saw Los Guerreros or Los whatever, Legado del Fantasma, whatever they want to call themselves, Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, as they will be taking on a tag team of Nick Pierce's choice. And it looks like Chris Sabin has tweeted out, hello there. And we've seen some stuff of the last few weeks about some Detroit stuff, Motor City Machine Gun, I think it's happening. I think next Friday, we're seeing Chris Sabin and we're seeing the MCMG show up on Friday nights. We're just going to have to wait and see. But it looks like next week, it's time for them to show up in the WWE. Now let's talk about some Mark Henry comments that Mark Henry had to say. As Mark Henry had to say, you hateful, can't say that, writers. Why criticize somebody that you don't know? You are not on the AEW payroll. They don't know you. They don't care about your opinion. They don't need to speak for them, nor would they say anything about somebody that they don't work for them. Exactly. I don't know why anybody's got any issues. I don't know why everybody hates on everything. And everybody is just so angry about everything. Like, just leave these people alone. Let them be. Let them do their thing and let these people do what they get paid to do. Don't worry about it. Leave Jade Cargill. Leave everybody alone, guys, for real. Now let's talk about WWE is in talks with Microsoft for a huge deal. And I want to look up and I want to make sure I get the right information about this thing because we have some, I just want to make sure I get the right information about this because that would be really crazy if they actually did do that and if Microsoft actually got itself. So, WWE has never been hotter as they are now in discussion with tech giant Microsoft on a new partnership, which means they will, and as you have seen, they have launched a brand new Call of Duty championship line. WWE and Microsoft are no stranger to doing business, as they recently teamed up to bring player Rey Mysterio, Cody Rhodes, and Rhea Ripley to the Call of Duty Warzone and Modern Warfare 3 video game. Just means we're going to be seeing more people in Microsoft, and you'll love to see it. Now let's talk about a guy that apparently is happy not to be in WWE, and his name is Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler says via Sportskeeda that he is not missing WWE. He doesn't miss WWE and honestly couldn't wait to leave. Do I miss it? No. Well, I just went out there and sat down by myself. It was just like another chapter of my life. I got to be out there and I didn't think much about it. As a matter of fact, like 10 or 15 minutes before it was over, I was thinking, oh my gosh, how much longer is this going to last? As soon as my time with WWE was over, I just got up, went about my business, left the studio, and just went about being Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler, he doesn't miss WWE, but oh, do we miss Jerry Lawler? And we miss JR. JR and Jerry Lawler, the king, will always be the guys that I grew up watching, and I am so excited. And, not excited, but I'm sad that we don't get to hear these two together anymore. But the one thing that is good and that I do like is that we do get to still hear JR every once in a while on AEW. As long as, it's going to be sad when they both are no longer doing it at all. It's just like another, it's just like somebody retiring and I don't know. These two right here are my childhood. That's the problem. But now let's talk about something that's going on now. And let's talk about, we got two things to talk about with the Wyatt 6. Because we also, guys, we have a new DLC pack coming out on 10/16/23/24, I should say. And you can be able to get it on the WWE, Microsoft, all of that. And it will be featuring Bray Wyatt Edition, The Fiend 2023, Metal Elite 112 Bray Wyatt, Bo Dallas's Uncle Howdy, my faction cards of The Fiend, Bray, and Howdy, the Firefly Funhouse Friends My Faction Manager, 67,500 VC, and the Fiend title. You will be able to get all of that on 10/16/24 this upcoming week in the Bray Wyatt DLC pack. Now let's talk about what the heck this means, because Uncle Howdy is going crazy now. He says, you chose to be deceived. Prove 26/16. You are filth repulsive. Hell does that mean? I have no idea. Anybody want to help me here? You chose to be deceived. Proof. Was it proof 26/16? So would that be what? 2/16? Or 10? Right? That would be 2/16, right? Because you are filth. Repulsive. You are. Who's you? Is it Braun? Is it somebody else? Is it The Miz and Cross? I don't know, guys. Let me know. What do you guys think this means for Wyatt 6? And also, are you going to get that DLC pack on 10/16/24? I'm going to see how much it is first before I buy it. But let me know what you guys think this could mean, and let's try to figure this out together. Speaking of, though, we just talked about him as he competes at Wrestle Dream. Apparently, according to Chris Jericho wants to make a return to WWE, and he wants to end his career in WWE. I think that's only right. I think that's only the right thing to do. Chris Jericho does what Chris Jericho does. He went away for a long time. I think it's only right that he comes back. He gets into the Hall of Fame where he rightly deserves to be. And maybe he has one last match against somebody that maybe, I don't know. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that is still wrestling. But who knows? Maybe Jericho does really end his career in WWE. That would be something, wouldn't it? That'd be wild. Because I think Jericho came out and said that he would not want to. I don't know how long ago it was. And of course, everything can change. But I think that he said that he wouldn't come back, but that's just why you never say never. Speaking of never say never, and somebody that will be staying, and somebody that will be staying in WWE for a long time, and that is Rhea Ripley, as Rhea Ripley has signed a 5-year extension with the WWE, and she ain't going nowhere. Mommy's here to stay, and Mommy's ready to run the world and run the show and ready to play the game, which means don't put yourselves and don't go away, because Mommy's still got a lot to do in the world wrestling entertainment. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Now, before we talk about the main event of this episode, because this episode's only going to be about 30 minutes, let's talk about something that I did not even know, and shout out to the Wrestling Collision, as we found this on Facebook, and I wanted to share it with you guys real quick. As it says, LA Knight has now surpassed Logan Paul's previous reign for amount of television defenses as United States champion, with 4 in 70 days versus Paul's 3 in 273 days. That's wild. Listen, I love Logan Paul, but I feel like back in the day, if you didn't defend your title, or if you were hurt, you were anything, you would vacate that title and you'd have a tournament. You would have a battle. I remember a battle royal where somebody got hurt. I think it was Kurt Angle, and the Great Khali ended up winning, and he ended up walking out as world champion. Okay, sure. But hey, I just think that there needs to be something, because the fact that I don't know. I think that, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Because if Logan Paul ends up becoming like world champion, he needs to go on like a full-time schedule or something that we need to see more of. We need to see that. But let's talk about the big thing that happened this past week. And guys, if you can smell what The Rock is cooking, he's back. He showed up. And as he says, the show ain't over until the final boss says it's over. There's no business like show business, and there's no connection stronger and more electrifying than that of the people and the people's champ. You can feel the mana, the energy, the final boss engaged. See you down the road. Cody Rhodes or Roman Reigns? I don't know. What does this mean? When's The Rock showing back up? And is he going to compete in War Games this year? Honestly, probably not. I feel like The Rock will be like a spectator, and I feel like he's going to be the leader of the team for War Games. So he's probably going to walk out with them, but we'll probably see Solo, Jacob, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. And then we'll see Jimmy, Jay, Roman, and maybe Cody, maybe Sammy, maybe Zilla. We're going to have to find out. But I do not believe The Rock will compete in War Games this year. I just don't see The Rock being able to do it, and I don't know how well it would actually go. And the last thing you'd want to do is injure him for having him just be in the ring for like a 15-minute thing. You know, I don't know. I think they save The Rock. Maybe The Rock competes at the Royal Rumble. I don't know. But the final boss has returned, and he's got a lot to say. And we got to find out what it's all part of the plan means. Because we saw last night where Jimmy said at the end of the show, "Ooh, so we need some help, man." Roman said no yeet. Well, that means he don't want Jimmy, or he doesn't want Jay. But I think eventually Jay will get, and I think Jay will get involved. And we talked about it yesterday a little bit. I believe Dominic Mysterio could win the title, and Dominic Mysterio could be the one to take the title off of Jey Uso. And that would be insane, and that would be wild to see and actually happen. But as I said, we're just going to have to wait and see if that is actually what happens. But I do believe that Jay will get involved in some sort of way. But I do not believe The Rock will compete at War Games. I do believe The Rock will compete at WrestleMania for sure, though. And I think it's going to be a good time. The Rock is back, baby. The final boss is back. We're only a few weeks away to Crown Jewel. And then we got Survivor Series. It's going to be a good time. And can you guys believe we're already back on the road almost to WrestleMania again? That's wild. The fact that the Royal Rumble is 3 months away just boggles my mind how fast this time goes. But, that's all I got here for you. So now let's get back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are all saying. Let's have ourselves a good episode. I appreciate y'all. Let me get back to, I'm a nobody. People don't know you. Damn, Jadis. AEW always is PLEs whenever W. Yes, they do. What's up, Mike? Appreciate you, Mike, coming and hanging out. We appreciate you. What's up, Daniel? What's up, Daniel? What's up, bro? Watching a little bit of baseball. Tino saw the Guardians game. I did see the Guardians game, and I don't care what anybody says. And if you watch the South Side Boys, and if you follow DJ on social media, you know what this means. All the homies still hate the Guardians, and I can't believe I'm saying it, but go Yankees. I hate the Guardians. I'm done, Jews. What match will disappoint for WrestleDream? So let me put the card back up here for you. What match will disappoint? Probably the Mark Briscoe and the Chris Jericho, because I feel like Jericho's either gonna win it like in like a fast way, or we're gonna see Jericho. I don't know. I love Chris Jericho, guys, but I don't know. I don't like how he has different things all the time. It drives me insane. But I still love Chris Jericho, and I think he is still one of the greatest of all time. I don't know. It's not me. I'm just not feeling this whole whatever he's trying to do right now. But WrestleDream, guys, remember WrestleDream is on tonight. Go and check it out if you want to. J Dog, thank you for the question. Julia Hart is a good one. I didn't even think about Julia Hart. We could see Julia Hart come out after we see whoever wins the women's championship, or maybe, just maybe, she comes out and maybe she takes out Mercedes Moné. Main event. It's always main event time. Nick Aldis, yes, Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis is a funny guy. Man, he just loves his job. MCMG was in the video, yes. Motor City Machine Guns, referring to Miz. Yes, that is a good. That is a good point. Proverb. Okay, so all right, so proverb. Let's go back to the fiend thing. Hold on. Let's get it back up. Where you at? Where you at? No, that's Mark Henry. No, that's not it. There we go. All right, so proverb. Let's try to look at this again. Proverb 20. So is that the time? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Hardys want to end their career too. Yes, they do. A fighting champion. Yeah. He Leo? Hakua? Or Hakua? Hakulio? Hakulio? I don't know. But I don't know what this means. And I just want to know already. Because who's repulsive? Is it Braun? Is it somebody? I have no idea. I think Braun might actually join them eventually. It would be interesting to see what happens. But I appreciate all you guys coming in and hanging out here today. That's all we got here for today's episode. I know, as I said, I wanted to come here still. Make sure we talked about all the news, the rumors, all that good stuff. I wanted to give you my predictions for Wrestle Dream. I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. If you're watching, if not, I understand. I know it's a lot of wrestling. I'll be checking in. I'll be keeping an eye on it. I don't know if I'll be watching the whole show. But you know I will be, and we will talk about it on Monday. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll talk about it next week on TTW. And we'll be back next week on another Saturday for another episode of TTW. Guys, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. Let's give away today's MVP, as it's our queen of Tino's Time. It's Michelle. Michelle, I appreciate you coming and hanging out, being here all episode long, and having a good time. Guys, go follow all the social medias. Go and get yourself some merchandise. Go get yourself, become a member, leave a super chat, all of that good stuff. If you can't, I understand. You don't have to. It's not forceful. But you know what you can do for free? It only takes 2 seconds. You got to hit that like button. You subscribe to the channel. And you help your boy Tino hits the goal of 2,400 as we continue our way to 3,000 and then on and so forth. Appreciate y'all so much. You guys are all the best. I love y'all. As I said, go follow the social medias. Hit that like button. Turn that notification button on. But most of all, enjoy your Saturday night. And I will see you all, guys, at noon tomorrow as we begin another week of the NFL season. It starts at 8 o'clock in London with the Bears and Jaguars. Bear down, baby. We're going to get that dub against Jacksonville. But then after that game, come and hang out as noon. And as we watch the Commanders and the Ravens, it's Lamar. It's Derrick Henry. It's Terry Scary McLaurin. It's Jaden Daniels. It's a matchup between two teams that are ready to show some fight and ready to take some names. Can't wait to watch it with y'all tomorrow. Guys, as I said, enjoy your Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow for another week of the NFL football season.